Hello, my name is Jim Newell. I'm Deputy Leader of the Rejoin EU Party, and I'm currently in Urbino in Italy at the moment, which is where I've been doing some work for the past several months, teaching politics and English at the university. And I'm actually part of the university choir. We've got a concert this evening, and so we're all here in one of the main squares doing a sort of final dress rehearsal. You can probably see my T-shirt with the choir's logo on it. Anyway, what I wanted to say was I wanted really to sort of talk about the recent events, particularly those that surround the decision of Nigel Farage to launch himself into politics once again, because it seems to me that you would think that with all the problems that Brexit has caused and all the disappointment that it's brought to its supporters, that the far-right promoters of Brexit would be on the ropes by now. But in fact, precisely the opposite has occurred. And it seems to me that the reason for this strange state of affairs was explained many years ago by an American sociologist by the name of Leon Festinger and his colleagues. They wrote a book called When Prophecy Fails, and this was a study of a sort of fanatical religious group that believed that it was receiving messages from a planet called Clarion, that the world was going to be destroyed by a flood and that they would be saved by flying saucers. Hello, I'll introduce you. That's Fabio, one of my fellow choir members. And anyway, what this...
James Lourdes.
Hi, Fabio. Hi. And what they... get myself together again now. Yeah, so what Festinger and his colleagues discovered was that far from the failure of the group's prophecy leading to hello, this is somebody else just coming in now. Anyway, so what they discovered was that the failure of the prophecy actually reinforced it. They developed what we now know as the theory of oh gosh, I'm having a mental block here. Not selective perception, but where people look for information that reconfirm already strongly held beliefs. So anyway, what they discovered was that the failure of the prophecy actually reinforced it, in other words. And it seems to me that when we consider the far right in Britain going from strength to strength, despite the failure of Brexit, we're in the presence of a very similar phenomenon. So, I mean, we all know examples of this. You sort of talk to Brexiteers and you say, well, actually Brexit isn't working very well. And they say, oh, well, it wasn't about bringing immediate economic benefits. It was all about gaining sovereignty. And nobody ever said that, Brexit would bring immediate benefits. Hello, I'll introduce you to another of my fellow choir members. This is Davide, who is our choir master. He's the guy that keeps us in line and makes sure that we're all doing very well.
He's exaggerating a lot.
No, without Davide, we would not be able to do our work very well. So
You're too kind, James.
Thank you, Davide.
Bye.
See you later. Bye. And anyway, so it seems to me that this is very much what's going on with Brexit, in other words, that's the word I was looking for rationalisation. When things don't work out the way you want them to do, you rationalise them and, you find an explanation. So Brexiteers will say, well, nobody ever suggested that things would be all hunky-dory economically immediately, it was going to be a long-term job and so on and so forth. Or they say, oh, well, it was never about the economic benefits of Brexit anyway, it was all about regaining sovereignty. So, whatever you say, they've got an explanation for it. So what Festinger and his colleagues found was that the failure of prophecies actually reinforces the underlying beliefs. So one underlying belief that I have is that we cannot defeat the far right by snuggling up to it the way that Keir Starmer has been doing, trying to construct a defence against Farage by becoming Faragist himself, saying, we're going to make Brexit work, adopting a position that was once confined to the fringes of the far right in British politics. Absolutely amazing if you think about it in a historical perspective, how far the Labour Party has shifted. It seems to me that if you want to confront, if you want to defeat the far right, you've got to be prepared to confront it head on. And I don't believe either that Labour's position on Brexit is unavoidable from the point of view of electoral politics. To assume that it's unavoidable is to assume that parties are actually powerless to shift voters' positions, that voters' positions are merely reflexes of the positions parties adopt, with parties, as I say, being completely powerless. But I think that the evidence points against that. If you think of, for instance, the campaign run by Jeremy Corbyn in 2017, whatever your views about Jeremy Corbyn may be, I don't think one can fail to acknowledge that he ran a campaign that, for better or worse, was inspiring. He managed to come back from a opinion poll deficit of 20 points, almost to overturn the Tory majority. In other words, it seems to me that the real problem is that Starmer offers voters no real hope. And it seems to me, therefore, that if he wins the election simply by default, simply because the Tories are so unpopular, and if, as probable, bear in mind that Starmer has promised that he will not either raise taxes or cut public expenditure. People say to him, okay, so what happens if this economic growth that you promised doesn't actually materialise and you're forced to make a choice? What are you going to do? He's got no answer. So, if he obtains power on having obtained a mandate on a promise neither to cut public expenditure nor to raise taxes, and he's forced to do the same, then it's quite probable that the popularity of the Labour Party will be pretty much where the popularity of the Tories is now, and that the right will come back even more strongly, this time led by Farage, and that when that happens, democracy itself will be under threat. Bear in mind that this is a man who wants to campaign for Donald Trump, who has said that if, as a result of the trial that he's been involved in, and if, as a result of the guilty verdict, he's given a prison term, has threatened to bring his supporters out onto the street. In other words, the man is basically subversive. He is not a Democrat. Neither, I think, is Nigel Farage. So it seems to me that if we are serious about trying to combat the drift to the right in Britain, then actually we have to be prepared to rebel against the Labour Party, to put pressure on Keir Starmer. I'm reminded of something that Winston Churchill once said. He said that you cannot reason with a tiger when your mouth is in its head. And this is, it seems to me, is something that Keir Starmer has failed to understand. So please vote for the Rejoin EU party. I'm standing in the Stretford and Urmston constituency. I'll be looking to challenge the Labour Party from its left. I used to be a member of the Labour Party, but left the Labour Party when Keir Starmer decided to adopt his Make Brexit Work position, because I do not believe that there is a progressive agenda to be had in the early 21st century that is not internationalist in outlook, and that therefore does not embrace a policy of rejoining the EU. Thanks very much for your kind attention. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye.
Your Easy come, will you let me go?